What's up, YouTube? It's your boy DanSkin1711, your digital Saiyan, coming at you with a brand new deck profile. Now, I know it's been a couple weeks, but you know me, I like to make sure these decks actually work for you guys before I should give it to you. So, I've been in the lab the last few weeks, and y'all know purple is one of my favorite colors. Well, I have a very good deck list for you guys this week. Today, I should say. This is my purple mastemon deck. Now, it's not quite undefeated like some people's other versions have been, but I have a very good record with the deck. I think it's very strong. I think it can definitely steal some games from opponents that don't know what they're actually playing against. That being said, a skilled pilot, I think, can do very well with this list. That being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so we're here at the webcam view now, and let's get right into this deck list. Starting off with the eggs, we have 4 copies of devamon. This is literally the best egg in purple at the moment. Why you would run anything else is beyond me. On deletion, draw 1 card, then trash 1 card from your hand. It's good hand cycling. It fills your trash up faster. Such a good card, and such a good egg. The last egg I'm running for the time being is 1 copy of agamon. His inheritable effect of having 5 or more, gaining 1,000 if you have 5 or more cards in your trash. It definitely does help out at times. It doesn't go unnoticed, we'll say that much. So that's the eggs. Like, devamon, obviously the best egg you can ask for in the deck. Agamon, this could be a few other options, but I think agamon is your best secondary option for the time being. That may change coming up in the future. Moving on to the rookies of the deck. Now there is a little bit. The deck is mostly purple, but there is a little bit of yellow splash because we are playing mastemon. Starting things off though, we have 4 copies of gabumon. One of the best rookies purple can ask for. Just like devamon has an on deletion effect of draw 2, trash 1. So between the two of them, if you have something on top of him, you are literally getting a graceful charity effect from Yu-Gi-Oh! And again, you're drawing a lot of cards, you're filling up your trash, which is something purple wants to do a lot. Up next, we have 4 copies of tapeman. Again, one of the best rookies purple has in its arsenal at the moment. Literally just on deletion, draw 1 card. And it can be deletion through anything, as long as there's something on top of it. You can swing at security, and it gets the leader, you can draw 1. So yeah, it's such a very, very good card. Up next, we have 2 copies of labramon. On play, draw 1, trash 1. Again, a lot of draw power in the deck. A lot of filling up your trashing cards from your hands to fill up your trash, which is something that purple wants to do a lot of. Purple is pretty much your, okay, my trash is my secondary hand cover. Up next, we have 2 copies of gazimon. This is mainly here just to shut down anything with memory manipulation, such as Imperial, such as Hammer Spark, such as Ragna. Really good card. I'm always going to include at least 2 of it in my purple decks, partially because I am now part of hashtag Team Hammer Spark. Or Team Never Spark, I should say. My bad. Blah. You get the idea. But gazimon, such a good card. Always include at least 2 of it in your decks. The last 2 rookies I'm running in the deck are 2 copies of Bushi Agamon. Now, I will rarely ever actually hardcast this for the 5. Most of the time, what I'm doing is I'm grabbing it back from the trash with my mastemons or my anubismons. Which, spoiler alert, there's anubismons in the deck too. So you can get that free swing in for free. Or swing in on the first time it's played for free. The only time I'll ever actually hardcast this is if I am at like 3 or 4 memory, I'm trying to trick my opponent down. So, 2 Bushis, That's all you really need. I would run one more rookie in here if I had it, but I don't have a Lucamon. That would be the last rookie slot. Moving on to champions, there are 8 of them. No, yeah, I might be off on my math, but yeah. Anyway, first off, we have 2 copies of the retaliation devamon. Really good card. Just retaliation is such a strong effect. You can literally swing at anything, and as long as he dies, who you swing at will die with it. And it also has an inheritable retaliation, which makes things really scary to swing into. So, really good card. Up next, we have our 1-cost blockers. So we have 4 copies of devamon. Again, having a 1-cost to go into on your first turn, really good to go into. Really good card to have. There's also another blocker that you can grab back at a 4-cost or a level 4 that you can grab back from mastemon. And just having that being a 1-cost that digivolve into makes going empty chain super cheap and fast. We're also running 2 copies of Biomon just as additional targets for your Mastemon. And having extra blockers is never a bad thing, especially in the current format, where Rookie Rush and Megazoo are big things. So having extra blockers and extra ways to shut down Rookie Rush, never a bad thing. The last 2 champions I'm running is the last 2 also yellow cards in the deck. It's 2 copies of the Power Pack gabumon. As long as during your opponent's turn, as long as you have a purple Digimon on play, which most of the time, almost 90% of the time with this deck you will, it has blocker. And then on play, if you have 3 or less security, recover 1. Really good card that you can grab with Mastemon. That counts as another blocker. Moving on to the ultimates, there's only 6 of them at the moment, but they are very strong ones to run and very important ones to run. First up, we have 4 copies of Lady Devamon. This is going to be your go-to ultimate in purple pretty much 90% of the time. Just because on Digivolution, draw 2, trash 2. So between her effect and the draw for Digivolving, this is another graceful charity type effect in your deck. So drawing more cards, trashing more cards from your hand, filtering out your hand. Like you can discard Gabumons, you can discard Bushis. Really good effects. But on top of that, it has an inheritable of once per turn when you play an option, you can pop a level 3 Digimon on your opponent's side of the board. Really good board removal, especially against Rookie Rush. I don't run too many options in this deck, but there are a few, and they do come up. The last 2 ultimates we're running is 2 copies of kaimerman. This is your way around like level 5 and less threats like Beowulfmon. And also works well with things like tapeman or Bushiagamon. Because you can play this, pop your Bushi, and then next turn, you can Digivolve into a Nubusmon off of this and get the Bushi right back. Going into the Megas, and this is where things get a little bit more spicy. We're running 4 copies of Mastemon, because it wouldn't be a Mastemon deck without Mastemon. 4 costs of Digivolution, so it's a little spendy, but it makes up for it. Because when Digivolving, you trash both the top security of both players, and then you can play a level 4 or lower purple or yellow Digimon from your trash. What targets do we have for that? Well, we have things like our blockers. We have things like our Gabumons. We have Bushis. We have Gazi. We have Tapeman. We have plenty of amazing options that you can grab back with this card. And 12,000 power to boot. Nothing to sneeze at. Next, we have 3 copies of a Nubusmon. 3 costs to evolve. 10k power. So it's a little on the weaker side, but only being 3 costs to evolve means you're not going to end your turn, as long as you have a memory tamer out. And when Digivolving, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon, doesn't matter what color, from your trash without paying its cost. And you do get on-play effects. So things like labramon trigger, you'll get Bushim Agamon with Rush. So it only grabs level 3s, but you can grab any color. Then during your turn, when you play a Digimon from your trash, it gains Rush. So there are some neat little combos you can do with this and Millennium if you can get both on the board at the same time. And speaking of Millennium, we run 2 of them. When Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Doesn't matter what. Any big threat they have, bottom deck it. On top of that, on deletion, if this card would have any sources under it, you can play it back from your trash for free. So again, really good card. There's some combos you can set up with these two. If you have a Millennium stack and a Anubis stack, there are some combos you can do with the 2 of them. Moving on to Tamers, we have 3 copies of Matt Ishida. One of the best purple Tamers in the game right now. Start your turn if you have less than 3 memory, go up to 3. And then on play, you can grab any purple Digimon or option card from your trash and add it back to your hand. Really good card. Would not make a purple deck without it. Up next, we have 2 copies of Karikamiya. This is mainly in here so that when we go into our mastermind, we don't end our turn. Because all turns, when a card is removed from your security stack, you may tap this tamer to gain 1 memory. So this plus a mat, when going into a mastermind, means your turn does not end. Really good. Moving on to options, we have 3 copies of the best purple removal card in the game, Trump Sword. Delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. That's all it does. But it's really unconditional as long as it's unsuspended. So they're swinging out with a bunch of devils for game. They hit this in security. They got 1 less attacker. Up next, we have 2 copies of Night Raid. Works really well with our devamons, our lady devamons, I should say. And the fact that we get both one of our bodies back on board, and if I have a Lady Devamon stack, they lose one of their level 3s. Pretty nice little combo. And this works really well with Anubismon as well. And then the last card on the deck is 1 copy of Deathclaw, which acts as a mini kaimerman for 1 cost. So, yeah. That's been the deck, guys. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below. Make sure you hit that like button if you like the video. And make sure you subscribe if you feel like subscribing. I'm not going to pressure you guys. But yeah, that's been my Purple Mastermind deck. Like I said, not the best deck in the world, but is my personal favorite deck at the moment. Or at least one of them. And you can never go wrong when you have Alt-Art Masterminds. So, until next time, guys, this is DanceKing1711, your Digital Saiyan, signing off.